Hello and welcome to another review of Drones Visual. Today I will be doing the unboxing of the unique and advanced mini drone DJI Spark, which is possibly the most advanced mini drone in the market today. I will also give you my impressions about the little fellow and share with you what's nice or not so nice about the Fly More combo. Yes, because what I have over here, as you can see, is the Fly More combo. I had the chance to get hands on the regular version of the Spark when it came out, but I decided to wait for the combo, and I will tell you right now, go directly for it and don't purchase the version that comes without the transmitter, because on the long run it's not worth it. Of course, if you have purchased the DJI Spark already, the version that comes without the transmitter, don't worry, you can anyways bind them later. But if you haven't, just go directly for the combo. Although controlling the drone using a smartphone, it's a nice feature and it can certainly come handy in numerous occasions, you will soon understand the limitations of it, and you're also at higher risk of losing your aircraft. The range of control using a smartphone is considerably shorter, being around a radius of 100 meters, and you'll only be able to go as high as 50 meters. While with the transmitter, depending on whether you're flying in a clear area or not, it should be able to reach around 1.2 kilometers. Also, the level of control using virtual joysticks is not comparable to the actual transmitter, and those of you that have been flying for a while probably know this. The combo also offers a few more useful things like prop guards, extra battery, a battery charger capable of taking 3 batteries, and a carrying case or mini backpack for the Spark, which all those components or accessories could potentially be more expensive if purchased separately, although I have not really calculated that, but that's usually the case. Now let's begin with the unboxing and see what we have. Initially, when I got the box, I was surprised about how compact it was. DJI managed to fit all the components in a very tiny space wonderfully. Inside the box, we'll immediately see a hard case with the drone, all sort of documentation related to the drone, the smart battery and the transmitter, and finally the case or mini backpack that comes included with the Fly More combo. As soon as we open the hardshell case, we will see the drone inside. I chose the blue version, but there are several other colors available. We have the light gray, which is a classic one, red, orange, blue, and green if I recall correctly. We will also see 2 tiny black boxes containing the spare props and the battery. Now, to tell you the truth, I was initially slightly disappointed. In fact, I thought there was some sort of mistake with my order, because all along I was expecting to get 2 extra batteries with the Fly More combo. 1 inserted in the drone and 2 extra as part of the combo, as even the charger or the balance charger that comes included with the combo has 3 slots for 3 batteries, so it all seemed to indicate that there were 2 extra batteries. I soon realized this was not the case. You only get 1 extra battery, and of course the battery inserted in the drone. I think DJI could have been a little bit more clear about this, but it's not the end of the world or anything like that. I go over it soon, but I will be soon purchasing my 3rd battery. The smart batteries that come included with the Spark are actually quite smart. Let me tell you that when you take them out of the box, they will be in a so-called hibernation state. This means that they're sleeping, like seeds that need water in order to become active again. So to be awakened, these batteries, they need some charge, of course, so you need to charge them. Once you completely charge them, they will resuscitate and be responsive. Notice that when they are in hibernation mode, you can press the red button and take a look that the LEDs are not actually changing or lighting on or anything like that, so you cannot really tell anything about the charge. But once you fully charge them, this will change. DJI advises to discharge the batteries to around 50% if you're not planning to use them in a period of 10 days. In this way, you'll be protecting the battery and of course extending its life. If you don't use the battery for 10 days, you would automatically discharge below 65% to avoid puffing and damage. This is a really clever function to have, and it should take around 3 days for the battery to get down to 65%, and of course you will notice that it gets slightly warm as it releases the stored energy. That is perfectly normal and you don't have to worry about that. Some other thing that is nice is that you can actually change the discharge threshold in the DJI Go 4 app. Now, let me also tell you that if the battery overheats, you won't be able to charge the battery until it cools down, and this might take some time. This is also done to protect the battery from damage, a very clever thing to do as well. This battery has a capacity of 1480 milliamps and a voltage of 11.4 volts. It weighs roughly around 95 grams, 95.7 at least in my scale, and it should provide for a flying time of around 16 minutes. You should in theory be able to charge these batteries with a power bank, but I will try that in some other video. Then on the side of the battery you will see a couple of release buttons. If you purchase the Fly More combo just like I did, you'll get a very nice balanced charger that can charge up to 3 batteries at the same time. This is really a handy device, and another reason why I strongly encourage you to get the combo rather than the standard version. The balanced charger itself here has on the side a connector for the power supply, and under you will see some rubbery or anti-slippery mats that will keep it in place when you insert or remove a battery, otherwise it would slide. Along with this charger we get a power supply unit that will not only charge the batteries but also can charge a transmitter or any other USB device. It has 2 USB connectors and you can see them here, so you can simultaneously charge 3 batteries, your transmitter, and a smartphone or any other USB device. Really nice. If you're interested in getting more info about the power output or other technical information of the charger, you can take a look here at the label, or you can also take a look at the documentation that comes included with the aircraft. Another exclusive item that comes included with the Fly More combo is a set of prop guards. There are 4 in total and they're made of a hard yet not very flexible plastic. I'm wondering whether this sort of rigid plastic is the best choice for prop guards. I think I would have gone for a softer, more flexible plastic. Has very hard plastics tend to be brittle, but I mean, what do I know? I'm sure DJI engineers they know what's best. As you saw before, there are 4 spare props included, and these kind of props are foldable to make transportation really easy, and they should be quite simple to replace if damaged. You can see here the cute brushless motors with the props, which only come in black, I believe. The next and very important accessory we get, and actually the main reason for which I wanted the combo, is the transmitter. Of course, you can still purchase the transmitter now if you already have the Spark and then pair it. The transmitter is quite compact and it looks like a transformer. In fact, it is a transformer and I will show you that in a moment. First, let's take a look at the diagram over here indicating what functions the buttons in the transmitter have. I intend to cover the transmitter with more depth in other videos, but this is the information that some valuable information that you can see about it now regarding its functionality. You can easily deploy and rotate the antennas to get better reception. In fact, you should only fly with the antennas properly deployed. When folding the antennas, make sure you fold this one here first, otherwise you won't be able to fold the other one properly. At the bottom of the transmitter there is a clever support for your smartphone. It supports a variety of mobile devices, but your device must be somewhere from 6.5 to 5.8 millimeters in thickness and around 160 millimeters in length. If your device is beyond that, well, it might not fit in the tray, and that could be really a pain in the ass. You will see that under the transmitter there is a USB port to charge the transmitter. The cable comes, of course, included is a wide USB cable that you saw before with the balance charger. You can plug the transmitter to the power supply USB connector and charge it along with the battery or just by itself. Once the charging process is completed, the LED light will stop blinking. Surrounding the USB port, there are some openings that you can see here. To tell you the truth, I'm not quite sure whether these are ventilation ducts or perhaps there's some sort of speaker here under. If any of you know, please drop me some comments below. The transmitter feels incredibly comfortable and resistant. I would say that the design is rather ergonomic, and it has here on the rear some sort of section, some kind of depression that will allow for a better grip. let me talk a little bit about the case that comes included with the Spark. I mean, it's really nice to get this case, and you can actually see, you can actually use it to carry your DJI Spark and the transmitter and a couple of batteries, but the shell of the case is not hard enough in my opinion. I thought the case or the bag would have enough space to place the hard shell or case that comes with the Spark, but unfortunately there is not enough space for it, as you can see here. This means that you need to place the drone directly there, and my concern about doing this is potentially damaging the gimbal if an accident of if some pressure is kind of applied on the case. Now, if you're taking good care of the bag, nothing will happen, but you know that sometimes when you're traveling, things can happen. So in my opinion, the bag should have had enough space to place inside the hard shell case to provide the best protection. I think I might be using my photography backpack to carry the drone when traveling. As this backpack, although considerably larger, it has enough space for all the components, and even has space for my DSLR camera and a small computer, or a notebook, I mean. If I may give you an advice, don't throw away the foam that protects the transmitter. This foam can provide vital protection to the sticks of your transmitter when traveling, so keep it around, and you will see that it will come handy later on. Finally, here you have the beautiful DJI Spark, a nice blue version. I had a hard time actually with selecting the color. I like my aircraft to be rather modest, as I don't like to call people's attention when flying. I prefer to be left alone, but I could not resist going for the blue version because it's summer over here, and well, nature is showing its most beautiful colors, which are visible despite the fact that I live in a concrete jungle here. But to celebrate such a beautiful season, I went for the blue version, blue like the sky. In the front section of the Spark, we'll right away see the obstacle avoiding sensors that are part of the so-called 3D vision system. Note that these are only on the front section here of the drone, so don't be overconfident when flying, and also keep in mind that no sensors are perfect. It might easily avoid perhaps a building, but if you have maybe things less robust like wires or branches, then it might actually struggle, so be careful when flying the Spark. Also consider that the aircraft needs to be flying at a maximum speed of around 10 kilometers per hour to have enough time to slow down and avoid impact. Unlike its big brother, the Mavic, the Spark comes with a 2-axis gimbal instead of a 3-axis gimbal, so you can expect a bit less of stabilization, at least in the image. And regarding the camera, this little camera comes with a tiny 12 megapixel 1/2.3 sensor, which I believe is the same size that the one you find, for example, in smartphones like the Samsung Galaxy. Technology has advanced a lot and small sensors are getting very good. However, I still have my questions or concerns regarding the performance of this little fellow in low light conditions. The sad thing about this camera is, well, that you won't be able to do 4K video, and the full HD videos that we record using this camera are limited to 30 FPS, so we won't be able to get that awesome slow motion effect in our videos without needing to use some plugins or something like that. Under the aircraft, we have an optical flow sensor and some other optic sensors that can assist the drone when flying indoors or when there is a lack of GPS connectivity, or satellite connectivity. Now keep in mind that these sensors use visual cues to correct the position of the drone, so if the floor does not have any distinctive patterns that the sensor can recognize, the drone might struggle to maintain its position. Flying also over water or reflective surfaces or in the dark can affect the way the sensors operate, so watch out when flying in these conditions. If the drone can get GPS connectivity or appropriate or have enough visual cues to maintain its position, it will automatically engage in altitude hold mode, and as you know, in this mode it can potentially drift, so watch out when you're flying indoors. Under the drone, there are 4 rubbery cushions that serve as a landing gear, 2 of them in the front section and 2 of them on the battery itself in the rear section. This is the only thing that separates the body of the drone from the ground, so you better land on a flat surface and make sure there are no stones or other irregular objects around that could make contact with the gimbal or the battery itself. As many other drones, the Spark is equipped with 4 LED lights that can help you see it when flying in low light conditions, and also can help you to get oriented. And on the rear section there's a tiny compartment with a USB port that you can use to charge the battery while it's inserted in the drone, and there is also a tiny compartment for a memory card. I recommend that you use class 10 memory cards like the one I have over here for better results, and make sure you get something like above 8 gigs so you don't have to worry about space. On the side of the drone there's some sort of ventilation ducts to cool down the internal components, and the Spark itself feels a little bit heavy, I must say. If we take a look at the weight of the drone with the battery, we can see that it weighs around 300 grams. But keep in mind that 1/3 of the weight comes from the battery, of course, that we saw before, that it's around 95 grams. Just to give you some perspective, here you can see the DJI Spark next to the Wingsland S6 and the Cheerson CX23, which we have previously reviewed here in Drones Visual. The S6 is still the smallest drone, and I guess in the future DJI will come with a pocket drone as small as the Wingsland S6, but we will need to wait for that. The CX23 is slightly larger but considerably lighter. I placed a link in the description of the video in case you're interested in any of these quads. So okay, this will conclude the first part of my video about the DJI Spark. I will repeat that I strongly suggest that you get the kit because it offers a transmitter, prop guards, an extra battery, and a balance charger with USB ports and so on. So all these components are quite important, and you will realize that you need them in the long run. So okay, if you find this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and drop me some comments. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. If you have any questions, do not hesitate and ask here in the comment section, and I will certainly get back to you. I will continue to cover the DJI Spark in my next videos, so keep tuned if you're interested, and I hope to see you all in my next video.